Hello there, Aries. My name's Frankie. I'm a clairvoyant, clairaudient medium, and an empath. This reading's for Aries for December of 2020. The year's over. I can't even believe I'm saying that. For everybody who's new out there, I pull 4 cards for the month. We use the bottom card on the deck for an overall view of the month. And we'll pull Angel card at the end of the reading to hopefully bring everything together for us. Now, I am an empath, so I have a weird speech pattern. I speak as if I'm mute, makes all you Aries, I guess, name Frankie for the time of the reading. Look at your moon sign and your rising sign. You get a more comprehensive view of the month. Don't think these cards are going to go week by week. I think they're going to blend in and out throughout the month, like an overall view. Now, I have a short message for us. And I think, this month it's going to be important to us to really think and focus on what is it we want to do for the next year. Like at least maybe the first 6 months of the next year, and to turn our energies and our efforts that way instead of staying mixed up in the confusing energy that still seems to be hanging around all of us. Now, I think it's going to be important. The end result will be important because focused energy is not scattered energy. So if I can get a little bit in my mind about where do I want to be at the end of next year, I can begin to see it a little clearer as it goes along. We got some good words here. They're patience, vision. I think we'll get clarity, actually vision, or get a glimpse of what's going to come forward for us in the following year towards the end of this month. And so we have patience, vision, love, acceptance, and release. So release is important too, because we can't go forward unless we release things that are basically holding us back or holding us down. Now, right off the bat, and that's strange, right underneath this is the Ace of Swords, and we have the Ace of Rods here. And this is a fresh new start, new beginning, usually in business finance, because Rod's energy is business finance energy. So it means we've planted some kind of seed. Maybe that's our thinking process for this month, planted some kind of a seed for maybe a new birth of creative idea, a money-making scheme that's starting to come for us. But the key idea with this is freedom. Freedom from the past, enabling us to get a new role or to forge a new identity. It usually comes through our work with this thing, but some of us aren't working. So it would be, where is that path going forward for some of us? Now, this is kind of a strange reading because I think we're going to have to really make some choices and really release some things that are in our way, and accept the ones that are important to us, because we have a lot of people in this card. First one is this little Page of Pentacles character here. Sorry, I have a new computer. The screen's really little and there's a big red dot over here in the corner and I can keep staring at it. So we have this little Page of Pentacles here, and that's called the card of a scholar. So maybe some of us might be educating ourselves for something new in our career, or maybe some of us something spiritual, like something that interests us spiritually that we're going to start to explore, or for the future, for what we're going to do next year. So it's an immature energy, but they call it the card of the scholar because he is so focused, so intent on this pentacle or nose in the book that he crashes right into the wall. Nothing else matters. So it's a message regarding the acquisition of money in some manner or some type of a material goods. But the news is actually really good when we get the Page of Pentacles. So it's going to be male or female energy, going to be earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. If it's someone outside of us, when it comes, it's like someone around us who's intelligent, maybe refined, sensitive to the arts, somebody who's ambitious, very determined. Maybe it's us being called to stand in this kind of energy, and are really appreciative of the good life type thing. Ambitious, determined, those are words that go with the Page of Pentacles energy. Ambition, determination, goal, really goal oriented. And we have that ace coming up right before it. If it isn't a person, another person in our lives, and for some of us it may not be a person, it's going to mean that a message about our worldly ambitions, and a message concerning them, but it will be a good message, you know? What is it that I want to do in the world? And the other thing I didn't say either is the Ace of Rods here. All aces can be birth of a child, birth, you know, new projects, birth of a child though too, birth of creative ideas, things like that. But this is our card of choices. This next card coming up here, this is the one that kind of made me feel a little bit leery, you know, with all the people in there. Because this card is a Two of Swords. And that card, like the whole entire meaning of it, is a card of denial. It's the card energy of denial. All twos are about some kind of choice we have to make. So this particular two is telling us we're in a period of like stasis. And the only way of maintaining a situation is to keep it in a state of balance. But while we're keeping it in that state of balance, there's all this underlying tension that goes around it. So it's a really uncomfortable position. Two of Swords is this really uncomfortable decision where there's a need to speak up, to talk, to communicate about whatever the circumstance are around us that we're involved in, things that may be bothering us. The only thing I can ever think about this card is like a marriage partners. They're both together, right? They go out to dinner on Saturday night with a bunch of other couples, and they talk and laugh and everything's hunky-dory. They go home and don't even speak to each other again. Husband goes and turns on the TV, the wife goes in the bedroom, that's the end of it till the next Saturday night. So it's basically called the card of denial, like I said, but eventually change has to take place, you know, or the tension, the continued tension, it just gets too great to tolerate. So choices available, remove the blindfold. Remove the blindfold, look at it squarely in the eye, and you make the choice and you move on. Move on or move forward into whatever it is that I think, how do I want to phrase this? Whatever it is I think is important to me, for me and my future. So somewhere, somehow, we're sitting there with a status quo energy, like stagnant, and we know something's got to give, and we know it, but we really don't want to face it, or we feel like maybe we don't. Maybe our options or our choices are limited in some way. Normally that would be the Ace of Swords, but they're telling me to say that around this too. So it's the energetics of being decisive, being mature, right? And acting on the decision and communicating about it, like telling, this is the way, these things have to change, or can't tolerate it anymore, or whatever it is we have to do, if it's in a relationship or a partnership, something like that. Because our next energy here is going to be air energy. It's the King of Swords. Now that is a formidable energetics, male or female, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius type energy, male or female, like I said, because these are just general readings. This is a strong energy, Really strong energy. It's mature. It's an energy that can use force, but does not use force unless it is absolutely necessary. So this energy uses force, but only when it has to. There is no other choice, and it's tried every type of diplomacy first. Air energy is very diplomatic, so it could be someone outside of us. It's a person of power and authority, someone, whatever, that when it comes up on this card, it has to do with something that's going on in our mind, like a mental process. If it represents someone outside of us, they'll carry that kind of energy. Someone who does some kind of mental type work, like a professional researcher, a lawyer, military officer. So for some of us, we may be making choices about relationships with that Two of Swords. Then comes in this, and it could be a lawyer type energy around us. This is a person that is a good counselor. They have like acute mental dexterity. They think on their feet, and their words are very detailed. They speak eloquently, I think is what the card says. So they know their stuff. Now, some of us, this is going to be someone helping us and serving us. Others of us, we might be being called, to accept this kind of role, because the King of Swords will release anything that holds it back, just like our word down here. So they can think rapidly, clearly on their feet. If it's not a person, it's a situation in which these qualities, these type of qualities are really called for. Like when it appears sometimes with this card, we could be on some kind of spiritual type breakthrough in our lives. Something coming towards us that is like we're ready to communicate, that hasn't happened to us before. But for others of us, I believe that King of Swords energy is going to be the energetics of patience, the ability to use force, but only if necessary. And we are Aries, and we can get a little forceful if we aren't getting exactly what it is that we want, but we can be mature. We can talk in a diplomatic manner and get our point across, and communicate whatever it is that we need to communicate. That's what I want to say. Communicate whatever it is we need to communicate clearly, lovingly, and concisely. So making our point about whatever it is that we're denying and clearly communicating it for some of us. Others of us, we may be starting like a new job for some of us, or a new relationship for some of us, because we still have another people card. Some of us, it could be a separation, maybe a friendship, maybe a partnership. And the King of Swords energy's in there, going from the Pentacle energy. That might be who advises us when we're separating from it, and then going into this type of energy, this Page of Cups energy. Now, Page of Cups is going to be water energy, so Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, male or female type energy. I love this little Page of Cups. He's looking at that like, oh my God, look at that fish, the rabbit in the hat. I love it. It's like this excellent energy of looking into that cup and seeing, liking what I see. And if we thought about this like an energy off of our first thing, our first original message, getting a vision of what I wanted the rest of, next year to actually look like, and using those first 6 months to like consolidate the energy throughout the year and keep it from being scattered, Page of Cups would be very useful. Some of us, this might be relationship stuff or job things, okay? and a movement forward from one place to another, because it's going to be more beneficial to us. Others, we may be severing a relationship. Others, these two, and moving from Page of Pentacles or Page of Cups energy, or vice versa. The opposite way from the Page of Cups to the Page of Pentacles. These are younger type energies. Now, this is emotional. It could be a son or a daughter, that type of energy. It could be an engagement, a wedding, some type of a situation around us where there is like an inherent emotional risk. That's what it is, where it's like really scary, but it's so exciting at the same time. Could represent us, and all, if it's not someone outside of us, it could be us already making a decision to decided to take an emotional risk on something, and we aren't going to let anybody tell us any differently. We are going to take that risk no matter what, because it's important to us. So for some of us, it could be that kind of energy. But the Page of Cups is love. But when I look at this, I think of that magic trick. Like maybe one of my kids comes home and says to me, guess what, Mom, Dad, I'm getting married. That type of energy. So we have kind of a strange month. I feel like it's a good month, but I also feel the energy of wanting to like do some visioning processes and thinking about what I would love my life to look like, and getting rid of, making choices with that Two of Swords of things I've been denying or letting slide by that aren't relevant or important to me anymore, and going forward on what is it, that really, what is it that's really important to me? What is it do I need to make my life a better next year than what it has been basically for this year? And none of us can say this year hasn't been screwed up, so paying attention to what's going on around us is going to be important, because we have the Ace of Swords right underneath that Ace of Rods at the bottom of the deck. And I think we need to really keep our visioning process on, pay attention, and anytime something comes to us that shows us like this is the next step, to keep focused on that energy and accept that energy, and like push away all the things that aren't relevant or are no longer important. Oh my, our thing is notice the signs. So notice what's going on around us. I didn't say it in that word. It says, yes, the signs you're receiving are heaven sent. We drop feathers, coins, and other signs upon your path to remind you that you are loved and never alone. And it looks like they dropped a lot of people in our path also in the process of doing that. It says, the angels gave you this card to understand the signs you've been receiving lately. Signs can include feathers, coins, butterflies, birds, or other repetitive visions that make you think of the angels who have deliberately sent you these signs to let you know they're nearby, protecting, loving, and guiding you. Your departed loved ones in heaven are saying, hello, I love you. Notice and believe in the repetitive signs you receive as validation you're on the right path. Have faith, follow the signs that are guiding you to your heart's desire. And I think have faith, this Ace of Rods is telling us more than anything, to have faith in the future, momentum. Don't stay stagnant and don't lose faith. And that we need, I think a lot of us have, because times have been so trying. And this is very unusual, to say the least, time in our life. But all of us are going through it together. So the more faith we have in that, and the more forward momentum we have, I think the faster we get through everything. and get to an end result. Well, Aries, that's our reading for this month. I want to tell you all thank you for your likes, your shares, your subscribes, and for your comments. I read each and every one of them, and I really appreciate them. If anybody wants to know more about me, or if you just want to go neb about me, all of the information's down below the screen in the About section over at the website. Over at the website, there's 2 short videos. One explains the prayer class I put out there for you. The other, the sutra classes. Prayer class is 2.5 hours long. Explains how to format prayers, why you do them the way you do. And the sutras are just simple thought forms. You put in a meditation, it takes 5 minutes a day, and it enhances the clair perceptions dramatically. But there's 2 short videos that explain them over at the website. And if you need to set an appointment with me, everything to do that is over at the website. So to everybody I met through 4 whole years of doing YouTubes, and all of you I met for 32 years of doing this work, I want to tell you, it's been an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure to serve you. Hopefully I'll see you back here next month. Bye-bye.